So like I said before, this is a playtest for Anhelo the Painter. If you're not already subscribed to the YouTube channel, you can subscribe to the YouTube channel right now. This just allows this channel to grow so we can find more players that are new to Magic the Gathering. Oh yeah, you did, Lewis. I have the deck list actually ready to go. I set it up earlier. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if you're not already subscribed to the channel, subscribe. And if you haven't liked this video, please like this video so that my YouTube coaches can stop telling me that I don't do that enough. So I would appreciate that. They would probably be happier if I didn't say it that way, but I have to say it. It's not my choice. Okay, so thank you for subscribing and thank you for liking the video. We're gonna take a look at this opening hand. Yes. Okay. So if I take a look at this opening hand, we don't have any ways of... Thank you for liking the video. We don't have any ways of ramping right now. So I think we're actually going to have to mulligan this hand just because our first play would be on turn 3 and I want to play Anhelo on a board where on the turn after I can use him right away. I literally have 0 instant or sorcery spells in my hand right now. So I think that I would mulligan this hand. Hopefully this isn't as intense as the deck we had yesterday where I had to mulligan 4 times. We do have videos for the Obscura and the Riveteer Precon as well, so if you haven't checked out those videos yet, you can just click on the YouTube channel and you can find those videos. Yeah, hopefully we do get a good hand. It definitely is a lot better than the other Precon, Lewis. I mean, I was looking at it 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 while I was leaving the cards, and it's definitely something that I noticed. Okay. So we're gonna end up playing this hand just because we have a signet here that we can play on turn 2, and that's really the only reasoning. Other than we have a Parnice as well in our hand, and that's basically my decision. So we're actually gonna keep this hand, and then we will draw for turn. We draw into a Maestro's Theater. I think we get down the path of Ancestry first, and then we go from there. We play the Path of Ancestry tapped, and then we're going to go ahead and pass the turn. This card right now, this Clone Legion, I'm going to be honest, I wouldn't want to keep this. Anhelo turn 3 is nice. I just think that I would like to... I don't know. I think that I just... For me, if I'm playing against an Anhelo deck and somebody plays Anhelo on turn 3, we're going to pass and draw. I would just remove him the moment he entered the game. This is another 7-drop card. So, what we're actually going to do here is... I'm going to play the Island. I'm going to tap 2, and then I'm going to play Is It Signet, so we get this into play. Technically, we have 3 mana right here that we can use to cast Anhelo the next turn. And then we'll pass the turn, we'll draw, and then we're going to take a look at the Island. I think Clone Legion is a good card, but it's just 9 mana, just seems... like I would really have to get this mana base to be good enough to consistently play this at a time where I need to and have mana left over to do other things. So we drew into an island there. I think we just tap here and get down on Anhelo, and then we're just gonna play the Maestro's Theater, which is gonna enter the battlefield and automatically be sacrificed. And we're gonna search our library for a I think we search our library for a swamp here. Yeah, that'll enter the battlefield tapped. So we have a Death Toucher on the board, which is, I mean, not ideal. If I'm being honest, these, I would easily switch out the Clone Legion and call the Skybreaker for 2 4-drop spells that create like 3 tokens. You know, or 2 tokens, or like goblins or something, like 1/1s. Because now technically I would play Anhelo, untap, and then on turn 4, I could consistently cast a spell to then just, you know, get a bunch of tokens on the board. So we'll draw, we drew another land here, which is alright. We'll play the Sunken Hollow. Enters untapped. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana right now. I think in this situation, what does Parnis do? Whenever you or a permanent you control becomes a target of a spell or ability your opponent controls, counter that spell or ability unless that player pays 4 life. Whenever you copy a spell, up to 1 target opponent may also copy that spell. Whoa. It's kind of intense. Yeah, I think in this situation, unfortunately, I just hold up mana to play a Mystic Confluence. That's the only thing I say here. So I would end up passing the turn. What's up, Joe? 2 Anhelo triggers. What's good? Yo, Charlie, what's good, dude? Yo, Charlie's going to Philly, bro. We're playing Magic. Yo, we are going to be in Philadelphia, Command Fest, playing Commander. I may end up buying shirts, like orange shirts with the logo on the back. Yeah, I would like to, but I just think that these 2 cards in our hand right now feel bad. And I think like I would not mind like ending on the end step. I'm gonna imagine that I'm playing against an opponent, right? I just think that to slow my opponent down, technically I could return a creature to their hand and then draw 2 cards for 5 mana, which could obviously slow our opponent down and then draw me some cards into something that will let me, you know, play the game. Otherwise, I will just pass and go back to my turn, and I literally did nothing but play a land. So on my opponent's end step, I would tap 3, 4, 5. And I'll play that Mystic Confluence. I'll bounce a creature to their hand. Let's say I counter a spell, I bounce the creature to their hand, and I choose to draw 1 card. Seems like a devastating use of that card. Soul Ring. That's actually really good. So we will untap for our turn. We'll draw Mountain. So we're gonna get down this Mountain. And then we'll tap the Mountain, we'll play the Soul Ring. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. Still don't have 9 for this, but I wish this was an instant. This is create a 5/5 elemental creature with flying. Bro, you don't have to. I'm gonna give you the shirt. You don't got to throw bucks for anything. You don't have to give me. I'm just bringing shirts, bro. I want people to be walking around in orange shirts and be like, "Oh, where'd you get that shirt from? Where'd you get that shirt from?" Coach MTG. I'm gonna print out. I'm gonna play this Call the Skybreaker right now, just so we got a 5/5 on the board, and we can play this from our graveyard so we can use it again. So we're gonna cast the Call the Skybreaker onto a board with no creatures to trigger casualty, unfortunately. So we get a 5/5. That looks like a blob. This is a blob. Literally a blob. But yeah, so I played that. And now I have a 5/5, so now I can casualty, right? And then I'll pass turn tapped out. So, what we're going... Ooh, that's a good point. That's a good point, Lewis. And then we're gonna go ahead and pass the turn, right? It'll be back to our turn. Kind of just sitting here. The deck is definitely dirtling. I'm gonna be honest that, and I think I will always end up saying this, that Obscura Precon would have done a lot of work at this point of the game. Like, drawn cards, been dealing damage. Another land. Guys, do I have to ask how many lands are in this deck again? Are there 39 lands in this deck too? Yo, thank you for liking the video. I appreciate that. It really helps. So I'm going to get down this island. Now, this... I'm going to tell you something. If I'm going to make a play right now, but this is exactly what would happen to me in a play group, which is why I just know if I was playing somewhere in New Jersey, I would do this, and then this is what would happen. I'm gonna play this island. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana right now. I'm gonna tap 9. I'm gonna do the cool thing. And then I'm going to choose to cast Clone Legion. And I'm gonna sacrifice... Actually, I'm gonna go to combat first. Why am I even doing this? Go to combat. I'm gonna attack with the 5/5 elemental. Okay. And then after combat, second main phase, I'm gonna tap here, here. And then I'm going to cast Clone Legion, sacrifice the elemental, and I'm gonna copy this. So I'm gonna get a board of, let's just imagine, I'm just gonna grab cards over here. We're gonna get Enzi, we're gonna get a Kamiz, and we're gonna get a copy of Ziatora. Okay. And we're just gonna imagine that we have these cards on our board now. There could have been 2 of them, but because of the legendary rule, we can only have 1 of each. So we'll end up passing the turn, and everybody in the world would just literally cast a board wipe. I have no counter spells to stop the board wipe. So my board gets wiped. So I lose Anhelo. And then they pass the turn. So I'm going to draw. Return. We have Parnis, a body count, and a swamp. Lightning Greaves. We have Retrace here that we could discard a... we could discard a land and then paying 7 to cast a Call the Skybreaker. And then we could equip it with the Lightning Greaves to have a hexproof shrouding attacker right now. Or I could play Parnis and then give Parnis hexproof an attack right now. Start taxing my opponent. Or I can get down on Anhelo. Yeah, this deck needs a way of... And I don't know if it's just me right now, but I wish I had creatures to sacrifice. Yeah. That's why I'm saying that the 9 mana cost on that card, it's like... It's really heavy. I think what I'll do is I'll save Parnis. Let's just be... I mean, it's just a difference of a couple mana. Honestly. I could just get Anhelo on the board and then play Lightning Greaves to protect him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's just do that. We'll play Anhelo. To actually just do this. It says add 1 mana of any color when it that shares a type with your commander. Cast a creature spell that shares a type with your commander. Scry 1. I get to scry 1 because of Path of Ancestry. See more cards like this. Talrand's Invocation. So I think we keep this on the top so that we can call the Skybreaker and copy it at some point. Then I'm gonna tap 2 mana and play Lightning Greaves and then equip and then pass the turn. Actually, go to combat, deal 1 damage, pass turn. I hold up the blue mana over here like I got a counter spell or something, even though it's not in the Precon. And then we're gonna go ahead and pass the turn. So back to our turn. We'll draw invocation. I wish Anhelo had 2 power. So what we're gonna do right now is pay 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll get down the Tolerance invocation. And we're just gonna get down Parnice. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we get 2 Drakes that I'm gonna grab right here. Thank you, Wizards of the Coast, for giving me these tokens. And then, but chat, what do you think of the deck so far? What changes would you make based on what we've seen so far? And we have this, and then I think we just pass the turn here. And then Parnice does her thing. When they cast spells, they pay 4 life. Now we go back to our turn. Seems like a bunch of bulk out of the box. I think you're 100%, you have a point. So we'll untap, we'll draw again. We have a Blood-Soaked Champion. Okay, so this is actually kind of big. So this is what we can use to consistently create or trigger casualty. So I think what we do here is we pay 1 black. I'd rather keep my flyers that can attack this turn. I'm gonna play a Blood-Soaked Champion. And then what we're gonna do is tap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we're gonna cast Call of the Skybreaker. We need more cards like this, guys. And then I'm going to sacrifice the Blood-Soaked Champion to create 2 elementals. 10 power for 7 mana is it's not bad. I had to discard this in order to cast that, so that's going to the graveyard. And then I'm actually going to move the Lightning Greaves over to one of these elementals. And then I'm going to go to combat, and I'm going to attack for 5, 7, 9. Parnice I don't really care about, so 13 damage. But this 9 is unblockable, we'll say, that's flying. And then second main phase, I'm going to unequip the Lightning Greaves and re-equip this to Anhelo, and then pass the turn there. And then it goes back to our turn. We'll untap. We're gonna draw. This deck definitely does seem better than the Henzi yesterday. Henzi was like, navigating through that Henzi deck was, it was interesting. That deck was trying to do too many things. Draw a Temple of Epiphany. So we're gonna hold up this body count. So even if it means I don't cast another Call of the Skybreaker, that's just the price we have to pay. But I think we can cast another Call of the Skybreaker here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, we can't. 2, 3, 6. No, because I need 3 mana in order to if an opponent lost life this turn, I can cast that, but that's just... Wait, because of the Parnice trigger... Oh, whenever a permanent you control becomes a target of a spell. This is a 39... This is another 39 land Precon. So I think we're actually just gonna hold up the body count and not do anything here. We'll just play this land. I think we have enough creatures on the board. I would rather draw all the cards than get another 2 elementals in play. We're gonna play Temple of Epiphany, and then we're gonna scry 1 Fact or Fiction. Keep that on top. I also want everyone to be aware that when I copied this spell, because of Parnis, my opponent was able to copy that spell as well. Which is not the best thing, because they were somebody who have a flying 5/5 creature right now. So we're just gonna go to combat. Oh yeah, you're 100% right, dude. That's a good point. So we're gonna attack with these creatures. And now that's 10, 14, this is 18 damage. Whatever happens, happens. We pass the turn, somebody wipes the board. I'll tap 3 here, and I'm going to sack the Drake. And then I'm gonna cast Body Count. Body Count says draw a card for each creature that died under your control this turn. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I draw 12 cards in my imagination. So this will go in the graveyard. That'll go in the graveyard, but I draw 12. A lot better than the Henzi deck, we'll say. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Don't get me wrong, Henzi is definitely a good commander. I'm just talking about the deck out of the box. Thank you for liking the video. I see that. I appreciate it. So we will go ahead and untap after the board wipe. Let's see what kind of board state we can create here. And then we can move on from there. So we have a Factor Fiction, we have a Swamp, Mimic Bat, Thriving Moor, Dread Summons, Dig Through Time, Mountain, Hex, Sever the Bloodline, Preordained, Smuggler's Buggy, and a Swamp. So the only card that creates tokens is this. And I don't know why I would want to mill my own cards inside this deck. What's up, Dominique? I think Dika's a cool card. I honestly, I have to take a look at Dika for me to have a real opinion about it. So I would have to get back to you on that. But this just... We animate the what? The black token? Yeah, I think right now, guys, like if I look at this hand, like obviously I'm gonna play a land per turn, so I'll get down this Swamp. And I mean, this seems really weird. I mean, I have 0 creatures here to attack this turn to get Blood Soaked into play. Because I need to attack in order to get him into play. So I would have to play Anhelo for 7 mana to equip the Lightning Greaves, to then attack, to then pay 2 mana to get down a 2/1. When I just drew 12 cards. So this, I think that from my understanding, I just don't think that this deck has... It's definitely needs work, we'll say. And like all precons, that's generally the case. I just don't think that this deck is, probably for good reason, because it would be too powerful. There's a lot of cards inside here like this. I don't think this really should be here. This Hex, I don't think really needs to be here. This is probably the worst card inside the entire deck. We have... I mean, like, technically I could get a bunch of tokens to play with this, but I don't know if I really want to be milling a bunch of cards right now inside this deck. And, I mean, we do have 3 ways to draw, which is decent, but I shouldn't have to draw 12 cards to need to draw more cards to do something, you know? That's just, you know, that's just my perspective. So, in the end, I think we're just gonna stop this right there. I think, I don't think I hate the buggy. I just don't look at this. Like, if I was working at Wizards of the Coast and I saw somebody wanted to put this card inside of a deck, I would just ask them why. Other cards, like, I wouldn't ask why, you know? Like, if you want to put a Preordained inside this deck, I'll look at that and I'm not asking why, I get it. A Fact or Fiction, I get it. Even this, Dread Summons. Even though it's causing everyone to mill, you make a bunch of tokens, so I get it. But this thing, this goes into the other Precon, you know? But yeah, so if I had to rate this deck out of 10, you know, we gave the Obscura Precon a 9. We gave the Riveteer Precon a 4 out of 10. And then we're gonna give this Anhelo Precon a solid 7. This deck can, I mean, out of the box, I think that I don't think you really have a chance of competing against decks that are already, you know, people customize their own decks when they play Commander generally. I think that Anhelo's a deck that you need to upgrade the deck if you want to play against other people and compete. Whereas the Obscura Precon, I think you can buy that and just compete immediately. Like, you can win games. This one, you need work. The Riveteer deck, the Henzi deck, you need a completely different deck if you're gonna try to compete against people. Like, you need to add a lot of cards to make Henzi decent against people. But yeah, so that's this. We're actually gonna open up the next Precon that we're gonna be playtesting right now. So if you are